Okay, come on. Um. Let me just quickly. Perfecto. Turn on some music. Let me turn on the chat window because I'm using two stuff. Two web browsers. One is with chat window and one is with rest of it. Okay, that. Is everything written properly? Should be. Let's copy that. Paste here. Let's copy all of it. Twitter. Surprisingly, finally, Twitter is working. I don't know why, but for a moment there, there was absolutely no possibility to actually reach Twitter whatsoever. I don't know if everyone had the same problem, but yeah. Hi Nick, glad to have you here. How are you? How is going? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Long time no see. Yeah. Actually, it's been a really long time that I haven't seen you around. Hope you are doing okay. So, please tell me, how have you been, man? How have you been? Okay, because the links kind of broke. There we go. Now they got repaired. Yeah. That's... Oh wait, I need to... yeah. Flare here. So that's that. Reddit for some reason takes a moment. Okay. I've got 2 really fast likes on Twitter. That's actually surprising. For a really long time I've had trouble with that. Hi Muto, glad to have you here. How are you? How is going? Boo. Hi. Got to see you. Okay, and that's the post. Okay, we should be in clear here. We should be in clear also. I'm fine. I was being pretty busy and also I play Mobile Legends on my tablet. I'm just here on this game, but I try my best. I see. Hope you are having fun. Hi S6, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope how's going? I think this is the first time you're on, so hope you find a comfy corner here. How are you? I'm doing fine personally. As you can see, I've been slowly working my way through some stuff. I've also been playing Brotato for a bit, and I kinda zoned out, and I've got a little bit late for my stream. We have 1911 and yeah, on 20 I'll have to on 2000 I'll have to go give my doggo his meds. This is actually going to be finally the very last day where I'll be obligated to do that, because tomorrow there's going to be a person that was usually doing this aside of me. I was just covering, so finally I'll have possibility to stream without without any problems. But yeah, so we're drawing Kronii. I've been kind of trying to analyze a little bit how those shadows turn out, and I have to say that surprisingly, as I was on a very specific state where I was, you know, out of energy, out of focus totally, I just tend to make a lot of blunders while being in that state. Surprisingly, I've actually nailed the shadows, so that's that. But yeah, let's continue. So in couple things, yeah. Also about the pills, yeah, for the dog. To be fair, I really have a feeling like taking care of the dog to such extent, because I was just mostly responsible for just walking him out. Just generally that was my deal, and after like 17:30, so like 5:30 p.m. That's like last walk, and usually that was it for me. But yeah, for the past 3 weeks I feel like everything kind of got destroyed, like my, you know, my routine. Today I didn't do anything. I didn't touch my book, I didn't touch the C# learning, so generally I've been studying with my projects. I'm really hoping to, you know, tomorrow to be able to sit down and actually, you know, start pursuing my my projects, because, you know, I'm not going to have so much on my head anymore. And I have to say, actually, the more you have to do, the more you have on yourself, it actually tends to get on you and your, you know, creative freedom, because it's draining. Let's be clear. It's draining, maybe not physically for some, but it's actually kind of mentally draining, because some of the tasks are actually requiring you to, you know, think a little, sit down, plan stuff, and that's kind of taking away your focus, at least for me. So yeah. Also, you know, when you're living based on like a daily routine, and out of nowhere all of it just gets, you know, just like that, destroyed, just because, you know, like a crap load of other stuff is crushing you, you know, crap load of new tasks is crushing you. It's really difficult to switch, you know, from day to day. For me, 3 weeks is definitely not enough, especially where, you know, some of the tasks had to be, you know, redone, remade every single day. You know, checking pantry and stuff, making groceries. Today actually I went get some more groceries, so also that kinda took me out of my day. But you're almost done. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm happy. I'm really happy. But yeah, I've been slowly just going about my day. it's nice to take a break. Yeah, but you know, when I have like 12-hour long shifts, right? And I have projects that also require time and thinking, and I have, you know, moment where I can, when I'm, you know, at home for a longer period of time, it's absolutely infuriating to just sit down and not being able to do absolutely nothing, at least for me. I absolutely despise situations like that. I just want to take care of myself and that's it. That's why I've actually had way better possibility to perform on many different, you know, projects when I was living alone, because generally I could just live by my own, you know, live by my own daily routines, right? I was just doing stuff when I felt like I have to do them, right? Some stuff I could just do, you know, automatically, right? Like, throwing dishes into the dishwasher, or, you know, washing clothes in a washing machine, right? So that was mostly the thing that was taking some time. More freedom, exactly. More freedom, more space to think, and not like this lingering thing, like, you know. That's why I'm saying that I can't really have a pet. Like, I love my dog. I think we are having literally the same talk that we've had, but like, that we've had already, but I love my dog, though I just don't feel like I'm in a space where I can sit down and like take care of an animal, right? To like very extreme extent, like, you know, having alarm clocks set up to give the dog meds because I have to have it like that, right? It's really getting on your life. It's really a problematic thing where you want to live a creative life, because when you want to live a creative life, you want to sit down and not be bothered by anything aside of working on your projects. No matter if you are writing, making game, drawing, whatever, you just want to take care only for your projects. And when you have, you know, similar situations, like, you know, living on alarm clocks because something have to be done on time, it's like literally taking you out of that creative life. It's taking you out of that project life, because you can't focus on them. Because to focus on something, you have to sit down for several hours and work on that thing. But when you have something like that, you can't really do that, because you sit down, you try to work, and before you actually notice, it's, you know, you hear the alarm clock ringing, right? It's similar thing when I'm streaming right now, right? So I'm streaming and I don't even know when the time passes, and I hear my alarm clock on the phone ringing to give my dog his meds. So it's a very similar thing, like I don't even know when that hour passes, because I'm literally usually starting my stream an hour before I have to give him the meds. So that's the thing. Of course, it's important to live an adult life and, you know, do stuff and shit, but, you know, I lived an adult life. I know how it is to live alone. I know how it is to take care of the flat and, you know, generally of yourself, but it still isn't really comparable to what I've had to do throughout those 3 weeks. Really, I'm straight up not the person that would be able to take care of an animal. And like I kind of thought that there's like some hope for me, but I like lost that hope for like a long time ago, straight up, because it's either an animal or the projects, right? And I definitely don't want to feel entrapped, you know. I definitely don't want to feel entrapped by any means necessary, you know. I just want to have that, you know, freedom of living the way I want. It's... sometimes I feel like it's very difficult for me to even explain the situation, because it, like, when I'm talking about this, it just feels normal. It's like yet another task on the throughout the day that people are doing, but I don't know why for me it's so much knocking me out of the way how I live that I just can't even explain it like a normal person without sounding like a, you know, entitled brat, because it kind of feels like the way how I speak about it and the way how I explain it, it kind of feels like, and I hear what I say, and I hear myself and the way how I'm explaining it, and it does actually sound like as if I would be an entitled brat that, you know, oh boo-hoo, I can't do on my computer or something like that, which is absolutely not what I mean. It's just like, it's generally like a focused terms, and for me, like, being focused on something, it's very different than apparently other people actually think, because for me, like, focus actually, I require focus to actually perform on different tasks. Without that, I'm lost. Straight up, without any focus, I'm capable to sit down and do something that I usually do in 5 minutes, but without the focus, I'm doing that in like 3 hours. So it's literally destroying me. You mentally can handle it. Yeah, exactly. I mentally cannot handle something like that. It's just like I have such a narrow tunnel vision that I can't like connect, you know, the projects and everyday life generally. So it's either a day where I'm doing stuff, you know, for everyday life, or it's a day where I'm just sitting down and the only thing from everyday life is like drinking coffee or eating, and that's it. And I'm just sitting down and I'm, for example, drawing, writing, learning and stuff. So it's like, I think that might be one of the downsides. That might be, so far I didn't really notice any upsides of it, but that might be actually something that is getting caused by the borderline autism that I was diagnosed with. And, you know, I was kind of like really thinking about it for a really long time before the diagnosis, and it was really bothering me because everyone around me seemed like, you know, they have so much like freedom in their lives. Meanwhile, you know, it just appears that I have very specific way of my daily routine, and I just can't mentally handle getting out of that daily routine. And that's the like general and it's like a general thing that happens for people with autism, which sucks totally. But, you know, at least now I know how, like, what is causing this, but I don't know how to, like, solve this issue. So I just sit here and I'm feeling like I'm literally drowning in mud for the past 3 weeks. And I'm hoping that tomorrow everything is going to kick off. I'm not even going to bother with many things. I'm just going to, you know, slowly ease in back to the way how I, you know, into the way how I was living generally. Hoping that, you know, tomorrow is going to be a bit different. I've already made like a plan what I'm going to do tomorrow. You know, split things into times and stuff. Generally, like trying to figure out like plan of action, how am I supposed to operate at what times and stuff. That's good, yeah. Man, I don't know how I was capable to live alone. Because really, the way how I'm, like, literally I'm thinking, like, the way that I'm explaining it seems like I cannot be let to live alone at any means necessary, because I wouldn't be able to, like, take care of myself, but I was capable to, literally, when I was living alone by myself, I was capable to literally cook for myself, do like all the daily stuff and still work on my projects and stuff. I wasn't bothered by any of those things. Yet here it's way different feeling. Way different feeling. I can't even explain the difference. That sucks, man. That sucks. But yeah, finally we are progressing with Kronii. I can see that we are drawing faster. I see that we are drawing faster, but actually I wasn't really bothered by other projects. I'm eating pizza. Hey, what kind of pizza? I've had pizza yesterday? Or day before yesterday. I've had my favorite nacho pizza. I don't know why it's actually my favorite. It's like, it has Tabasco on it, which is a bit like soury. It's like sour, genuinely. It's like lime sauce, but mixed a little bit with ketchup. So it's like very watered down sour ketchup or something like that. And it has jalapeno. Jalapeno are, I think I've explained already how jalapeno tastes for me. Hi RKRB, got over here, how are you hoping this is going? But yeah, jalapeno are also like soury bell pepper. So it really fits in well with the thing. It sounds good, yeah. So it has Tabasco, it has those jalapenos, so it's like very soury thing, and I've added bacon and corn to it, so it gives like this really nice like soury sweet combo, but on like, you know, a bit better, on like not excessively sweet, you know, not like marshmallow or something like that. But good, was sick for a few days, now back on track. I see, that's really good, that's really good. And the best part is that they are placing nacho chips on top of it. Yeah. Isaac Gatev here, how are you? Hope is going? My brain is not functioning properly today. Same. Same. I've literally turned off my brain playing Brotato. And I was like, what time it is? Oh shit, I'm late for stream. I was actually watching Papa Matt's ghost hunting video. There are some really specific things that are something that are actually, if what he had wasn't like edited or anything, and most likely it wasn't, because as a matter of fact he was streaming, it sounds like on the dial. maybe I need like I need to remember about taking my meds. Dial up. So basically Papa Matt had like a some experiences in the 5th most haunted building, actually, that are very connected with stuff that only like experienced demonologists are talking about. So for example, the camera glitches in a very specific way, feelings on like he was actually experiencing a lot of like intelligent, you know, responses, and all of that was like streamed through Discord to Zentria, Froggy, and some other VTubers. And basically they were streaming that Discord stream from him on their stream, so you have like several people streaming literally the same thing. And basically like I wanted to see if like there are some differences in editing or some stuff, just to see if it's not by an accident an elaborate hoax or anything like that. To be fair, I could potentially like try to look up and debunk some stuff. We were having some fun when I was eating during stream, because you know, hands, busy hands, and couldn't draw, so we were turning on some videos from Nuke's Top 5. But of course, all of those videos are staged. Like all of Nuke Top's 5 videos are just staged. You can see obvious edits, and you know, just it's not anything that would like actually be any kind of evidence of ghosts, but actually Papa Matt's video was like the most authentic stuff that so far I've seen. I'm still watching his version on his channel just to see if, you know, things are covering. But yeah, it's crazy. It's actually crazy because like straight up, we've had camera glitches, Bluetooth not working, he was getting kicked out from his from, you know, Wi-Fi and stuff. There are some like very specific like actions that, you know, generally professional Phasmo player, yeah, exactly. But that's crazy, actually. That's crazy. Also, not that long ago, like, to be fair, just not that long ago, I was trying to scour the internet and, you know, for some like actual haunted videos, just to see if there's anything, and like it's just a bunch of people trying to, you know, do a lot of like content connected with ghosts and staging a lot of videos. So, you know, seeing a video like his is actually very very refreshing, because you don't really see anything like what he did. That's actually rad. That's rad. Yeah. No reaction videos though. I'm an art channel. To be fair, like the only moment where I could do some like actual reactions would be literally when I would eat, because again, when I'm eating, I can't really draw because my hands are getting busy. So that's like the only thing that gets into my mind. But I guess a lot of people on streams eat and react. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Eat and react. And on the contrary, I kind of feel like it would just feel like, you know, like one of those things. I've seen actually someone memeing off of that. So basically, like, you know, so someone like quote unquote gets huge on YouTube for some kind of content, like, you know, I don't know, 100 days in Minecraft challenges, right? And the moment they hit it big, they are just throw all of the things they were doing, right? And the general reason why they've been quote unquote huge on it, they've become quote unquote huge on YouTube, and just start to do some reaction videos on, like, you know, scary most haunted places or some other shit like this. Also, I have to say, like, the boys channel, their haunted videos seem staged too. And there's a lot of like moments that kind of prove it. And this is actually accountable for most of those, you know, ghost hunters and stuff. They're using those like boxes, right, that are scouring the radio waves, right, back and forth on very fast speed. So basically it's just a bunch of static, and you shouldn't be able to hear any words. Or like ghost boxes that are like saying words that supposedly ghosts are saying. Like straight up, it's easier to create a an app that is listening what you are saying and giving you response based off what you say. So for example, oh, give me a name, and scouring the library of names and just throwing some random name. Like fuck logic, right? Like literally that. And it's like starting to be more noticeable when you watch those, you know, English ghost hunters, right? English speaking ghost hunters, and they are traveling abroad to the countries where nobody would speak English, right? For example, especially in very old times where supposedly the ghosts come from, right? Like 1600s, for example. So when I've seen like Zach and Colby's videos where they went to Ukraine, to those like some trenches or some kind of like cave systems that were very old and from like 1800s, 1700s, whatever. And basically they were like talking English and they were getting English responses. That's like no logical whatsoever. Why they would receive English responses? First of all, if it's actually scouring the radio waves, what radio stations, for example in Ukraine, would give them English words? Second of all, if those are ghosts from like 1700s, 1800s, right? So like 16th, 17th century, how come they would know English, and how come they would be able to respond to them in English? How come they would understand what they are asking them? So genuinely, like when you actually watch those like ghost hunting videos and you have all those like responses from ghosts and like some other stuff, like, no, it logically makes no sense. Actually, it logically makes no sense the moment they are going abroad. And I think actually just because like they might have possibly received a lot of comments that are buried under their videos pointing that out, I think this is the reason why they are not going abroad anymore. Because again, no logical sense. They've started to like stay in like English speaking countries only. True, yeah. Because like at certain point you can see that they've started to restrict themselves to like Britain, Ireland, America, Canada, and like some borderline Mexico. So generally countries where, you know, English responses and generally like talking English would make sense. So I'm literally disappointed in, you know, in this exact way, because like, you know, for example, for believers, right, like ghost believers, a lot of that kind of content, it's something they watch. It feels like they are just trying to, it literally feels like, oh, they are gullible no matter what we are going to do, let's just perform on camera and hope that nobody is going to, and hope that they are not going to start like doubting stuff or anything like this. And like you could see like a lot of guests that you've had, you know, like so many of those, like Moist Critical or Nihach or like other big streamers, and so, like some of them were like, oh yeah, you actually won't believe what was happening there, like all of that stuff is really like, but you can see that they are like bothered to actually explain that they are just good actors. Yeah, kinda, like you can kinda sense in the tone how they are speaking that they are bothered to even say those words. They are kinda embarrassed generally, and you don't necessarily just sit down on their streams and hear about their experiences, right? Like they are like, oh yeah, we were there, and they are not necessarily explaining everything. I don't think they've ever done even a stream after those, after filming those videos with them. You know, they were not making any videos or any streams like talking about this stuff. Literally. Like I've seen, because literally you can try to find like clips or VODs about that, like there's nothing, straight up. And that kind of sucks, to be fair, because, I mean, sucks. That also kind of proves the point that a lot of those videos made by so many of those, you know, ghost hunters on YouTube are just, you know, elaborated hoaxes, right? It's like very elaborated, because they literally like have a lot of random stuff going on there. So yeah. The funniest thing was when they've had like the boys channel had the most critical on their video, and like Charlie literally made a video, like he was the only one who made the video, but literally you can see on that video that nothing was happening, like straight up. And I think that was literally the video, like, you know, it was like video more or less showing that this is exactly how it was looking like. And I think this is exactly how it was looking like because like behind the scenes they were not capable to, like, you know, ask Charlie to they were not capable to actually pursue Charlie to actually like go with the trend and say, yeah, like that was crazy, we've seen so many ghosts and stuff. Because Charlie, so far, I think like Charlie was way too honest with the internet. Like I mean, quote unquote, way too honest, right? He's really honest with his viewers and like genuinely would like point out if something would be edited. That's why you've had no like responses, no like different stuff happening. Right. Oh yeah, I saw that video, yeah. So that was crazy. That's why, like, the moment I saw that Zen and, you know, that Zen and other VTubers from her group actually about like a month ago had a stream about it with Papa Matt, and I got kind of interested, so I've been watching already like a fourth video trying to detect if something is off or anything like that, but it literally does that. There were some like call-outs that make no sense, like the dude like, oh, so something is peeking from above the door, because like you on the video you've had a door that was like, you have a door and literally above the door there was like about that much space that was like open space, like as if the doors were taller, but they've like exchanged the doors and now like there's a hole above them or something like that. And he was like, hey yo, I've seen someone peeking from above there. Like I was zooming in, I was like bringing up the saturation, there's literally nothing there. So like I think that's not, but there were some stuff going on there, like despite that there was some stuff happening. It's interesting, especially by the end where like his camera started to glitch out. He said like, you know, I don't, he mentioned that the feeling in the entire house like changed, that he actually feels like you know, he actually sounded like he was panicking and stuff. He said that he don't like the feel that the entire house is giving him, and that he's just going to leave. And on the ghost box that I've take to the bank what I've just mentioned before about the ghost box, which is like probably it listens to what someone says and just gives out responses by the code, and no ghost has to be involved into that. But like the ghost box told him like, clever, leave, right? But like actually you could see that his fight or flight was activated, but there, especially like when the camera was glitching only on him, so there was no like glitching out on the background, but only he was getting glitched. He as the person was getting glitched. I mean, by the end of the day probably it was still like, I don't know, either pre-recorded or there was some trickery put in, because again, like, personally I'm skeptic, but that's why I'm very like critical to those stuff. But you know, there has to be something out there, like some kind of powers, I guess, maybe, who knows. But genuinely, that's crazy. Genuinely, that's kind of sounds like crazy that, you know, there are just ghosts, I don't know, locked in certain area and like just bouncing off of the walls, like bounce, bounce. No, it doesn't have to be out there. Fact, yeah, it just simply doesn't have to be anything. Like, it, exactly as Zega says, it doesn't have to be out there. But like, you know, when it comes to spiritual stuff, like, if we really have to take it to the contrary, it might be, doesn't have to be. There's no proof or evidence that it is there. And also there's no proof that it's not there genuinely. Like, there are just proofs that the entire content built around that is fake. So that's that. But to be fair, there's way more chances that we live in a fucking simulation, and the moment we die we are just getting, I don't know, reborn as a different character, a different NPC. I think these kind of vids are just meant for kids, since we mature enough to know. I mean, you genuinely have a lot of like adults that believe in that, and like, for example, even like older adults too. But to be fair, like, very like people around like 40s, 50s, 60s that believe in that, they most likely they were raised in the surrounding like that, you know, like this very superstitious surrounding. So it's just kind of getting thrown on. And when I was a kid, I watched a lot of this stuff on reality TV and UFO and Alien BS. True, yeah. Yeah. Actually, I really like the like explanation of Neil Armstrong, this astrophysicist. He, well, sorry, not Neil Armstrong, Neil Tyson deGrasse. Yeah, that was the guy, not Neil Armstrong. What the f. His explanation was like, he can't confirm nor deny that something like that exists, but if it exists, there's no point that, one, it's so advanced to come to our area, or if it's actually so advanced, there's no point for them to actually like wave around our area. There's no point for them. Because like they are way too there would be way too intelligent species to even be like, you know, to even bother coming in here. So like that's absolutely perfect thing. Like, yeah. the most amount of life that we possibly could have, it's like prediction. They suspect that on one of the for once, they suspect that on one of the moons of Jupiter, this is like mostly covered in water, there are like underwater beings generally, but there are like sharks or something like that. Europa, yeah, like they were they've had like photos, I think, from Europa, and after showing them, people like, alien being, there's something swimming in there, and they were saying that this is like like Europa's hook mouth or something like that. You can see photos of it, but genuinely, like, there's no even confirmation that something like that exists, and possibly there's, I personally, I doubt that this is actually like genuine photo of that, right? So like basically the Like, still, there's absolutely no way that there's anything in there. Like, the closest they're suspect to be are like some kind of bacteria on like some planet or something like that, and they are not landing on that planet they've sent like a ship to land there, but they've had to change the course because it was contaminated, and if something is contaminated, right, it can destroy things. Because like you are not going to have the actual ecosystem, you can actually interfere with the ecosystem, kill whatever there is. So even if there is anything, that there's most likely a huge chance that if you send something contaminated, you are going to kill it off. Surprise, surprise, right? But yeah, like they have suspicions that somewhere there's like, is still in like Milky Way, like in our solar system. There's like a possibility that we have some planet, a moon, an asteroid, whatever that is, and that it has some kind of bacteria, amoebas, whatever that is. But they just can't be bothered to send things there because, again, way too high risk of contamination. But on the contrary, send something contaminated on like very random planet, probably with a huge impact, over and over again, maybe a nuke or something like this to cause drop in temperature, and literally you are going to redo the way how Earth was getting created. About that, Voyagers checked out things around there. Yeah, exactly. Also, it's funny how you look at Jupiter and you think that this is a giant planet while all of that is just gas. And the genuine pressure around there is so huge that so far there's no possibility to send anything there, because whatever you are going to send there is going to get crushed before it even reaches the actual ground there. But we're also speaking about the planet where, if there is some actual ground, true, because it might be just a huge ball of gas pressured with some sort of like source inside. I mean, wait. How it would have a gravity pull without a ground? Gravity? Yeah, but like, where would the gravity come from? Oh, okay, I have the thing. You can try to respond whatever to like whatever you want. I have to give my doggo his meds. Give me a second. What? Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. In physicists, and right now, yeah, exactly. Gas has gravity too. Every material with mass has gravity. Yeah. That when I was actually getting my dog his meds, it like came to me like everything genuinely has a gravity. So yeah, I physicist on this. Yeah. Also, it's possible to genuinely create a gravitational pull in simply with a force. It's more like it compacts under the pressure of gravity and transitions to liquid closer to the core. Yeah. So it's literally like changing between the states on the go, the closer to the core of the gravity it gets. But yeah, you can genuinely, with enough g-force, which is gravitational force actually. Okay, I think I've messed. I was about to physicist on this one too. But to be fair, yeah, it's crazy because like there was someone, I don't remember now who. It was on the internet, so probably it's wrong. But someone explained that there's a way to create force that can genuinely override the gravitational force of Earth. So, like, for example, how you have those machines, right? That are spinning really fast and they are like allowing you to stand on the wall, for example, right? More or less kind of like this, to explain it simply, but in the way that genuinely you are just creating like a sphere that is just creating a pool. And that's like, I was kind of pondering this for a little after I read it, and like this is exactly how end of the humanity would look like. Someone would straight up just try to override, like would create like a gravitational pull and create a freaking black hole. It needs to be the mass of the Earth, or it needs to have enough force. It needs to generate enough force to be higher than the Earth's gravitational pull force. In newtons, gravity is tied to mass. Also true. Yeah, now the more I'm thinking about it, the more it makes no sense. Bro. That's genuinely, imagine someone actually would be capable to create something like that. There's a force that overrides Earth's gravity force though. It's called centripetal force. Wait, I might be stupid, or actually yeah, I think that's exactly what I was how I've explained that, right? Literally the ground pushing you up, negating the gravity. Yeah. Because it's spinning, right? It's creating, during the spin, it's creating a force that is pushing you out. No, because it's dense and you didn't fall through the ground. Bro. Also, is this Kronii too realistically drawn? are those shadows too realistic, or are we cooking right now? Because I like those shadows. But again, I tend to do very realistic shadows because of my tendencies to like come back to my realism times, like subconsciously, and I don't even notice when I'm doing this. It kind of feels like this though, that I'm doing something wrong, but yeah. No idea. Gotcha. I like it though. It's fine. Alrighty. Man, I'm telling you, I'm just but you have room to improve on hands. What's fucking always? Wait, did I do sausage fingers again? No, but they are looking kinda broken. Like straight up. Yeah, I'm always messing up hands. Hey yo, those edibles ain't shit. Right? Right? And the dude is like in like 4th density. The what? The edibles ain't shit. The dude actually became turned into a 4th density. I don't like that bird in that meme. There are many memes with birds. Can you maybe explain which are we talking about? That's okay. I mean, to be fair, theoretically and physically speaking, if you rotate really fast in your chair, you're just going to vomit. Bro. Actually, what if your chair doesn't rotate? Then you are not rotating in your chair. And you are getting out of the equation. Actually, here's the thing. I've seen a VOD or like clips of Zentreya being stoned, right? She was high, but she was like she was high like a freaking kite on a windy day. I'm telling you, that's how high she was. But she actually said something that I've never really expected. In B movie, you have Barry B. Benson, and the B stands for B, and I've genuinely never really noticed that, because in Polish that makes no sense. But they didn't because they didn't translate his name, so he was still Barry B. Benson. It like hit me. Like, actually B stands for B. That makes sense. Really? Yeah. I have a pianist thingy. If I rotate it, goes up and down. So you... So you to rotate fast enough. You are finally going to start rotating. I didn't agree. Bro. Oh boy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, loud. Konnichiwa. Is it how... Yeah, it is how Kronii actually welcomes her viewers. Kronichiwa? Yeah. Because of her nickname, right? Kronii. And like, you know, how I'm doing Kondechi. What was that? My weak ass attempt on making noises like Marge Simpson. But yeah, like, so genuinely, I've noticed that a lot of VTubers have their like welcoming message, and it's usually like konnichiwa, right? Like from Japanese. Good morning. And they are mixing it with their nicknames. So Kronii has Kronichiwa, etc. So that's why, for example, on my posts, on my like Twitter posts, on my Blue Sky posts, on my Discord posts, I have Kondechi, right? Because it's Dechi is like shortening, like the quote-unquote cuter version of Davis, right? Dechi. And it's mixed with Konnichiwa, same thing, so it's Kondechi. Right, so she has Kronichiwa, but she always says it in a very specific way. She's saying it with like syllables. And a lot of people started to write her name like that. Because it's quite also funny, because it's kinda like another play in Japanese words, because that's black, kuro, and ne, it's usually added to like sister, right? But like older or younger sister kind of thing, because you can also call sister Kuronisa. Yeah. Kronii. I find it cute though. I don't know. I've kind of lost touch what's actually cute and what's not. I'm wearing only black. I don't have any cute clothes. Sniff, sniff. Bro, imagine Davis in like pink pajamas. I swear to God. And Davis is supposed to be like a baby opossum. Opossums are cute. Baby opossums? That would be funny, yeah. And Dave is supposed to be like a very serious hero of a shonen manga. Meanwhile, me, that would be funny if Davis would wear a pink pajama. Bro. To be fair, also, I'm kinda struggling with the Zam the Lost Memories. It's like, I don't know. Personally, I find like there's a lot of weird loops. Some stuff are, we need a drawing of that. I might actually do it. So genuinely, some things are going way too fast. Just watch Black Lagoon. I might actually. To be fair, that might be the first anime that I would drop. But to be fair, a lot of anime like Stray Up, changed, like a lot of anime lost sense of touch and their coolness the moment I finished Steins Gate. Like straight up, this anime twisted my perspective on anime, and now I can't, like, okay, I can kinda push through some stuff, but straight up, like, rest of all of anime seems to be so lowballed compared to Steins Gate. Like, Steins Gate is 10 out of 10 anime, and it's such a strong high 10 out of 10 that straight up I can't even compare other anime to it, besides Durarara, because I also really like that one. Story-wise, 10 out of 10, yeah. But also, like, it's so cleverly done. The characters are 10 out of 10. The story progression is 10 out of 10. Like, the dialogues are 10 out of 10. So many things are actually so well done. And now I have Zand Lost Memory, and like, I'm on 15th episode, right? I'm on episode 15, and straight up, you have like Heaven's Feel visual 10 out of 10, Black Lagoon is atmosphere 10 out of 10. But straight up, you have like some sort of like theme getting, like, trying to be pushed on, like trying to be, you know, squeezed through some stuff, and like, hey, okay, right, hey, that's so cool. But you are watching, and out of nowhere this thing gets cut out. Okay, weird, maybe they are going to come back. Literally, you have first episode that just is jam-packed with action. Main hero, in literally moments from talking with his parents, ends up in an explosion of a bus. A random white-haired girl is like sending out some sort of a beam that is emptying into his arms some sort of a freaking gemstone. He turns into a monster, explosions, battles, he starts to turn into stone. Like, what the heck is going on? 5 next episodes, nothing happens. No meaningful talks, no major explanations of stuff, no action scenes, no explanations what happened to his friends. You see, out of nowhere, after a moment, just out of nowhere, it just so appears that his friends joined the army. Like, when they've actually decided upon that? Where are, like, their talk to make this decision? Like, what made them actually pull through this, right? And main hero, and now I'm on 15th episode, main hero struggles to start using his powers, right? Throughout the entire anime. And it probably still is struggling to do it. And one of the characters just so happened to miraculously also have the gemstone embedded in them, and out of nowhere they are capable to control it absolutely perfectly. What? And they are not only that, they are capable to, they've like quote-unquote lost sense of themselves, etc, etc. He gets saved, you know, brought back to like a human version, etc. End of the episode, he just uses the power again. Out of nowhere, he is capable to like masterfully use it on his wheel. while the main hero had no possibility to have even like fragment of such control over the power. And surprise, surprise, what this dude does, he uses this power and chops off his own head. Because he was about to get thrown into jail because they are treating people with those crystals as the enemies of the country, because like there's like war going on there. Like, dude, first of all, also the war has no sense behind it. It just happens to, I don't know, make lore go around, something like that. There's no explanation like why this war even started. There's no explanation like who started it, etc. It's just happening. They're in the middle of it. You have characters that never were shown before in the anime. They're introduced. They are, I don't know, getting pushed through this story that's supposed to be like very sub-story theory, ooh, boo-hoo, they've lost their whole family, yada yada yada, they're going to be used into something because they have no one else. Like, who fucking cares about them, mate? Like, actually, I don't even know who that character is, and out of nowhere they're trying to make this character, I don't know, make me feel pity for it? Like, that's so random. That's why I despise kind of the writing this anime has. I was so hyped for it because I've seen that... Okay, I've seen before some people talking about it, but I was so hyped for it because I really like the design of the main heroes, like... form he transforms into. But the more I'm watching this anime, the less sense it starts to make. Also, Steins Gate is well written because it was a visual novel first, and there could be no dead ends or dropped threads. True, that makes sense actually why this anime is so good. Yeah, I wish Zound would get way better treatment. It feels like the story was like written on the knee right before the like biology class or something. And to be fair, I'm really hoping that at least the anime is going to get better. You know, the more I'm going to watch it, like the further I get. At least I'm hoping for a really good ending, because so far, if the anime is going to get a really bad ending, it's going to be like 3 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 anime for me. Like, straight up, it's so chaotic and makes this entire story makes no sense. That straight up, it's most likely going to get such a low grade. And I mind reminding you, High School DxD received the lowest grade was 5 out of 10. So you can see how low this anime stands on the list. And I don't necessarily like the High School DxD story itself, but I like the premise of the manga. And the premise of the story. So like I like the concept of it, right? I like the lore, I like the character development, kinda. I like the how epic some scenes can get, how the general story of like the dude like sitting being like a normal goofy ass student. He finds a girlfriend, she supposedly appears to be like a fallen angel and kills him. And one of the girls from the school appears to be a demoness that strafes up, resurrects him as a pawn. Also, the fact that demons have like families, their own families made out of people they like make contracts with. And they are using them and battle between other families in form of like chess games, that's like 300 IQ like battle system in the world. Like that's why those were like the only reasons why it received 5 out of 10 on the minimal grade, to be fair. But still, it's way better made than it. Hi Skylar, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope how's going? sorry, I'm having a yapping session for the for some anime currently. So yeah, to be fair, I kinda want to see another anime that is like at least partially so well done as freaking Steins Gate, for real. And I really wasn't expecting it to be I really wasn't expecting it to be like that. Link click? What you mean link click? Anime name? Link click? Or did you click in some kind of link? Anime? Okay. I might look it up. Really? It's so good. Let me check if it's not by an accident on my plan to watch already. Link click. Yeah, no, it is there. It is there. It's Ona. ONA. Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering what next anime I'm going to set up. I'm still waiting for the final season of MHA. I want to see it so badly. Because again, like, I've seen manga and god damn it, I want to see those scenes to be animated so badly right now. For real though, the music is so good. I really like when anime has good music. But yeah, currently watching for now is like Bonen no Zamdo, which is also NA by the way. It's I'm on episode 15 out of 26, so I have 11 more episodes to go. Then I'm going to watch another arc of One Piece, and then I'm going to watch Code Geass Hangekyo no Liluch. 25 episodes. I've heard some good though about this anime, so I also have high hopes that it's going to turn out well. I have high hopes to watch it. I really like when anime has good music. Also, for those who haven't seen Steins Gate, I really recommend. No one talks about Link Lake, but it is really amazing. I'm going to check this anime out for sure. I'm wondering what ONA is, because I know that OVA is like special episode. But I'm wondering what ONA is. Because you have OVA, ONA, and proper TV series. Let me Google that actually real quick. To rest a little bit from playing with the shading on the breasts. What does ONA means in anime? An original net animation known in Japan as web anime. Web anime is an anime that is directly released onto the internet. Okay, so this is what it is. OVA stands for original video animation, so that's what I knew. Well, does it mean original net animation though? Like, it doesn't have manga? Because to be fair, I haven't seen Link Click to have manga entry in on Mal actually. Neither Bonen nor Zamdo. Because it's for sure no manga, okay. I see. So it's just a series that gets animated and just like that released onto the internet. So that would also mean that most likely the story of the series and like everything is made by the studio. So that means that, for example, Bonen no Zamdo had no experience enough with story writing on such level. That's why there's so many holes, so many things dropped, etc. But does that mean that there's no studio either? Like that kind of seems like it was, for example, you know, made, animated by like indie studio, like independent group of people, not like, you know, studio like Toei Animations or anything like that, just LAN studio. It was made in China. Huh. Actually, I've noticed that a lot of Chinese anime have Ona. Well, that makes sense actually, because like it just makes sense. Bro, I'm tired of playing with her breasts. Pause. I don't even know what I'm trying to achieve here. Billy, sponsor it. I see. So it's genuinely like a group of people that created an independent studio and just made an anime and released it directly on the internet on platforms like Bilibili or YouTube. So this is what it means, more or less. That makes sense. Also, since they've had sponsoring, that would also mean that, you know, the animation quality would be, you know, better, right? Kind of. Okay. So that's it. It's kind of like those indie dev studios making games on itch. So Ona is a name for anime like that. Okay. The animation is good. I mean, I have to say that it's, you know, the same thing for Bonen no Zamdo. Like, animation is also not really bad, but it's about the story, not animation. And visuals are not going to rescue anything at all. So yeah, it's a, you know, in the end, it's just animated story. Like, it needs to have a balance between having good, well-written story good characters, you know, like actually make sense whatsoever, and just have somewhat coherent animation, that's all. It doesn't matter if you are making special effects like Mappa. If the story of the anime sucks, it's unbearable to watch, like genuinely. So that's that. I mean, for example, you can see how Dandadan turn out. Like, they don't really have like God knows how crazy special effects, only in certain portions, but also the animation style is very simple. You have like, you don't really have like God knows how advanced shading, it's just very simple style like Studio Ghibli, for example, has, right? The story is cool, the animation is nice, smooth, it's not choppy, it has special effects when it needs one. Just genuinely makes sense, right? And it's really good anime, right? So that checks out. Dandadan visuals have a very big variation. True. But you know, it's very simple when nothing happens, right? When you don't have those like very crazy action-packed scenes. Like when you look at the characters outside of that, they are more or less drawn the same way how Studio Ghibli draws their characters. It's very simple, you don't have many like advanced shadows, you don't have much of it. But when it comes to the action, this is where they are actually starting to add necessary special effects. So I have to genuinely say it's actually crazy if you think about it, because when it comes to Bonen no Zam though, it has a very simple style like Dandadan, and I have to say it's kind of comparable. Don't watch Heaven's Feel. What do you mean? Story, music and visuals are all good, yeah. I can't wait for a new season of Dandadan. That one also supposed to happen this year. It will ruin visual perception of anime, Steins Gate does with stories. I mean, I'm an artist after all, so all of visuals are destroyed for me. Based on many like different anime styles. Like, heck, look how I'm shading this anime artwork, which is genuinely shaded more or less in the way how realistic character would be shaded. So, like, I have very different sense of, you know, when it comes to visuals and styling. I never watch a style of anime. It's not like I don't like it, because I like it. I genuinely like anime art styles. It's just I have also very specific like feel to it. Watched Heaven's Feel in 60 FPS, best modern style. Man, I have to see it. Also 60 FPS makes no sense for anime. Like genuinely anime is made... otherwise I like old school more, like Ghost in the Shell or Vampire Hunter D, I see. I mean, by the end of the day, like, you have very similar style in Dandadan to the older anime actually. I feel like they kind of came back to the older styles on that one, and I really hope that they are going to continue that, because to be fair, older styles were way better than those like forced, you know, forced pseudo 3D with crapload of CGI on them art styles that you see in some. Like, for example, you know, the 3D animations you get in Baki or Kengan Ashura. Heaven's Feel goes all gas on no break on effects too, I see. Again, I have to watch it. I really want to watch it. I like when there's like a lot of cool visuals. That's why, for example, I can't really wait for last season of MHA, because I know there's going to be a lot of stuff going there with visuals. It's not that good if you don't watch the other Fate series. I mean, I want to watch chronologically. There we go. All entire series of it. It kind of builds on that you see in the others. I see. You know, the entire Fate series in chronological order. I know there's going to be a bit it's going to be a bit problematic because some anime are prequels, some are sequels. But again, I don't really mind seeing anything like that. Because all the Fate Stay Night series are about the same visual novels, different routes. I see. This is very interesting. Very interesting. So that would mean that every single Fate Stay Night is literally the same. It's just a restart of the story, so it doesn't really matter which one you are going to watch. Is this what you mean? Why would it have a chronological order though? The prologue is the same. I see. I see. So that's why it has the God damn it, how is it called? Chronological order, there we go. It's just because of the like the fact that it's just have the same prologue, but the story kind of goes different ways and different routes. But they release the different series in a way that you know more and more background info. I see. I mean, after all, the very first series is where we meet Arturia for the first time, like, genuinely, where we get, like, an explanation who Arturia is. Anyway, because I know that some of them don't really have that. And sometimes they skip content you should know from the other series. I see. So the chronological order does pin up the fact that you should know from the previous series the stuff, so it's kind of it would kind of guide you the way that you would know everything. That's good, because later it's like kind of showing the differences in stuff. I don't mind watching, for example, the fact that there are some older anime and stuff. I've seen some older anime already. There's some exceptions like Zero, which is a prequel, I see. I mean, after all, like, prequel would still explain a lot of things, yeah. Looking majestic as always, my prince. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It should come after the sequel in watch order. I see. I mean, it depends which watch order you're looking by design. Because if it's a prequel for the story, for the entire story, chronologically it should come first, right? But if it comes in a different way to the story, then it should be watched last, right? Or in very specific place where it would fit. Well, anyway, there are people on the internet that already made like a map how to watch entirety of it. Stay Night, Zero, Unlimited, Heaven's Feel is the minimal order. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, there are like people on the internet that already, you know, explained how to watch properly Fate Stay Night. Fate series, there we go. Not Fate Stay Night. God damn it. There are also games like Grand Cross, right? Is it how it's called? That mobile game? Fate Stay Night Grand Cross, where you get like a Grand Order? Yeah, exactly, Grand Order. So you get the girl with the shield, right? It also shows some pieces of story. It kind of has a story of its own. And also that it's a totally alternate story from the future. Exactly. So for example, if you already know how the genuine story of Fate goes, you can play it and see how the story flows for itself. It's not connected. Or some common characters because some characters are kinda timeless. I mean, understandable. To be fair, I really don't like the way how the chests turn out. Let me try to change it. Your order discovers the origin of some heroes. I see. But you spent so long on it, yeah. But I don't like the way how it turned out. Unfortunately, this is, you know... Drawing sometimes it's not about, oh, I've spent so much on it, I'm not going to change stuff. Sometimes it's just a method of... You know, it's a trial. You draw something, you look at it, you don't like it, you change it. You can't... When you're drawing, what usually blocks your progress is attachment to something you've made. I think it looks good right now. Yeah, kinda. It already looks kinda good, but there are some shadows that I genuinely need to add upon. Don't overshade, yeah. The previous one was kinda overshadowed. That's the first reason. But yeah, back to the thing, what usually blocks you from major progress is the fact that you're getting attached to something you've spent a really long time on. Like, I've been drawing some illustrations for a really long time, but are a bit hard too, yeah. Usually what I'm doing for collarbones is that I'm kind of trying to detect where they are, and I'm just, you know, making shadows just underneath. But to be fair, I'm kind of struggling with the way to draw breasts a bit better. Those were always my demise, because I've been always kinda spending a bit too much time on them, and by the end of the day I've never really liked them because they were ending up getting overshaded. For collarbones I've never had really problems the moment I've learned how to properly make them, and that was really fast, to be fair. Like, I've never really changed the way how I'm shading my collarbones, and they are always turning out either good enough or good. So I've never really stumbled upon that. But breasts are something else. Like, it's very difficult to draw something you haven't really seen. Pose. But all jokes aside, it's very difficult to draw them because it's like, it's not a body, it's not like arm or leg. It's like a group of muscles with fat tissue and some soft tissues, right? Like those organs that are, you know, that are causing lactation and stuff. So basically it's just, I see them every day. You're generally using very dark shades, yeah. But it's like, I'm using very dark shadow because I'm using 50% opacity brush, so I'm genuinely just using them very dark shadow from the get-go because they are still just getting very bright. So the thing is that the genuine problem that you can get with drawing breasts, for example, is that you are going to think of them like, for example, male chest, right? So male chest is also just a piece of like muscles, but they are just muscles. You don't have any overhang usually. You don't have much like additional softness to them. They are rigid. And that's the problem with like female chests, right? So they are just softer, like very soft tissues, very soft in shape. So generally to shade them is very difficult because they are not really familiar to any other portions of the body, that you don't have anything that you can compare them to, genuinely. So you can kind of just think how what would be the best way for you to shade them and draw them, and that's like most likely the only way how you can go about them. Water bags? Not quite. Also not quite. I've seen people saying, oh, like just draw, like think of them like two balloons filled with water on a string, just pushed over hanging over the neck, right? It's not like that, because the chest muscles, those are still working the same way also like for male, right? So the chest muscles are very connected like here, right? Same for females. So they are not connected here. Neck doesn't really affect the chest. It's the shoulder that is affecting the chest. So when you have arm going up, the chest gets stretched, right? The muscles are getting pulled up. Same thing for females. So the general like way to go about it is on such a difficult portion that muscles are under the fatty tissue. Also not quite. For female, you often have like a muscle. There you have like some fat tissue here, and sometimes like between the muscle groups, right? So the like whole concept is working around it. But yeah, mostly fat, like muscles are under the fat tissue because fat grows on top of the muscle, right? So that's that. But also like other like pieces, I'm pretty sure they are under checked out anatomy recently. I mean, yeah, like sure, but also there are like other like organs there for females, right? There are like additional organs, and those also tend to get some fatty tissue, right? As a matter of fact, it's those organs are kind of made like a fatty tissue. Kind of from the same material, if that makes sense. It's also very difficult to explain this because, again, it's like its own structure. You don't really have anything like attached to it. You can't really. It's not that complex. I mean, it's complex to explain it with words, basically. But yeah, like it gets complex when you are trying to also like compare it to something, when you can't because it's not something you can compare it to. Because it's like genuinely just, it has its own structure, so it's like a breast is a breast. It's not like water balloon, it's not jello. It's just a muscle group that sometimes grows with fat tissue, right? And that's what makes it kind of different, kind of difficult, because people tend to also overthink them, right? Like I've mentioned, like I tend to overthink them still. That's why it's so difficult for me, because the overthinking, while they are generally not complex, as Zega said. And a lot of artists are struggling with it. Like I've seen some artists recently, I think we've talked about it with you, Zega, also. So there was an artist who made the chest like going in a very bizarre way, and genuinely just kinda messed up. It's also because the artist most likely was overthinking that. That's why yeah, the cat girl, yeah. That was the cat girl. So, for example, for me it was a very simple fix, like just pushing the breast in place. But you can just scroll through countless amount of artworks and you are always going to see the same issue. They are using the same like kind of thinking that the breast goes like this, what is causing all of those issues, right? They are not taking to the they are not taking for the account to actually, you know, think of those as an actual part of the body, like actual you know, piece to learn from anatomy. They've just assigned it to be like backbone is bigger in majority of cases. Yeah, exactly. The backbone is usually bigger and pushed in, and the one closer is usually pushed in like really weird way back into the body. And this is genuinely because of that water balloon technique. that a lot of people go for. They don't do that for muscle tissue. They don't do that for, like, I don't know, stomach, head. They don't do it for anything. For all the other parts, one of my guys told me it's deliberate. How can that be deliberate? That makes no sense. And they do it with butts too. Nah, I haven't seen anyone that would actually use the same technique for butts. It's only for the chest. Now you got thinking, yeah. You just haven't noticed that issue there. True, I don't tend to, like, look through many of the artworks recently, especially, and exactly, I don't tend to, you know, stare at those specific portions. Maybe also that's why there are so many issues. People just go like a way to draw them really quickly, and they don't want to spend time on them because it's, I don't know, maybe they feel embarrassed or something. That could be also a thing. Embarrassment is also kind of taking a huge chunk out of your progress, to be fair. They shy low, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, that can also take a huge chunk out of your progress because you are going to be too shy or too embarrassed to actually focus on something like chest or butt. Like back in the... I mean, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Buonarroti, like they've had such a thing on the anatomy that they were literally buying corpses from graveyard and performing autopsies on them just to understand the human anatomy on such level. And definitely they were not embarrassed by looking at naked females. But it's maybe my kind of thinking because I don't really look I don't really look at women in this specific way to feel embarrassed while doing live drawings. But I have to agree, like at the very beginning when I was starting to draw from life, it was kind of a problem, but the more I was drawing from life, the less of a problem it actually became. So I guess it's something like I've kind of defeated the shyness, the embarrassment of drawing those things. I've kind of, you know, lost those, maybe I've kind of just lost those feelings. But genuinely, now you got thinking, yeah. But genuinely, I have to say that, here's the thing, it's also one of the portions that come with the... Now, how is it called? That come with the comfort zone, right? Some people, for example, might not feel comfortable with it, and this is exactly the same thing I was talking about on the previous streams, right? Like, you need to push your comfort zone slowly. If you don't feel comfortable with drawing those things, I don't recommend actually diving into it like out of nowhere. Like, at least trying to prepare yourself, especially not like getting a photo of a nude model and just sketching it out. Like, to be fair, who would be feeling, you know, comfortable with something like that? I mean, if you are going on an art academy, for sure, you are going to have to sit in the middle of the freaking class staring at naked lady and trying to draw her properly. If you won't do that, you're going to fail as an artist. Quote unquote. Someone actually explained that perfectly. You get a group of 10 people staring at the naked person and literally crying because they are running out of paint. That's a perfect depiction of what's actually happening in those classes. If you do 3D modeling, you have to analyze it more. Yeah, exactly. If you are doing it, if you are doing 3D, you actually have to analyze those things even more, like straight up, because you have to like model those things, right? It's like making sculpture out of clay. So yeah, like, to be fair, if you are not going to draw something, you are never going to get good at those. I think I linked you the site I used to use. Yeah. I think that it was somewhere there. I remember checking it out. I remember you were sending me one. Definitely really good one. It actually was really good to watch at. It was really good also to find like references for drawing 3D SK, yeah, 3D SK. So that also like allows you to genuinely like, because it was the one that had like those models, right? Yeah, because you are getting like a model and you can just genuinely with turn around photos. Yeah, exactly. So that's actually most likely one of the better one, and with different poses, yeah. So it's actually one of the better ones to look at, because you can genuinely just analyze the basic idea for your characters, right? Because you get the turnaround, you get to watch the person, you get to genuinely see how the, you know, character goes with the turnaround. And the same goes literally for drawing. You can just use the same thing as your drawing thing. And definitely there, you know, like, it's straight up like learning on the art academy. If someone ever like wants to attend those, you have to be prepared to at certain point like attend such classes, and because if you are going to skip them, most likely you are going to most likely fail the year. It's kind of because you don't necessarily have to do those things, you don't necessarily have to draw those like nude characters, nude models, to learn how to draw. You don't need those to learn the anatomy, but you kind of have to pay more attention into how the shadow goes even at the clothing, because, you know, it's still shading, right? It's still like shading a shape, so it still kind of matters what you are doing genuinely. So yeah. Okay, so what we did today, we've kind of went really deep into that. And I'm glad. I really like the neck, I really like the way how the breasts are looking now. I really like the way how it goes about it. But yeah, we are going to probably, like, again, most likely again, I didn't really do much of a progress. I really want to like speedrun the rest of the skin probably on the next stream. We'll see how it's going to go. And I'm genuinely thinking about making like a really long ass stream tomorrow, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sit down and actually work on any of the projects, but we'll see if I'll be able to actually take care of anything of those. I'm actually thinking that I might do just a normal length stream, or I'm going to genuinely just sit down and start the stream either earlier or just go about the stream for a bit longer, just to either just finish the skin or, you know, go about like the clothing at least. But I doubt we are going to finish the clothing. Hairs are going to also be a pain, but we kinda already have a bit easier way to draw pairs now, so genuinely we are going to go about those. Anyway, folks, thanks RKRB and thanks Zega for being active in the chat on Twitch. Thanks Nick, Muto, S6 and Skylar for being active in the chat on YouTube. And thank you all workers that be here for at least this 1 second. Hope to see you all in the next stream. And meanwhile, take care and